Hi, Siri period class. It's Miss Johnson reporting from her my dining room. I'm sorry. I wanted to record this video for you so that you guys wouldn't get behind in your vocabulary, and that so that we can move ahead and have our quiz that's going to be on December 11th. So your homework from this assignment will be due on December 4th. That's next week. If you can believe it's going to be December already. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over lesson 6, the correct pronunciations of every word, and obviously the definitions. I ask you to take out a sheet of paper, as we do every time we go through our vocab, and you're going to number it accordingly and write down the word and then also sample sentence. Your sample sentences and exercises A, B, and C are going to be due next week on December 4th. Okay, so the homework A, B, and C of lesson 6 is going to be due next week on the 4th, and additionally your quiz will be on December 11th, and I'll also put this on Edline. Okay, so let's start with the first word. The first word is epigram, and that's pronounced epigram. It's a noun. It's a short, witty saying. And I'm going to give you a Shakespearean example, actually, as we are very much acquainted with Mr. Shakespeare. So perhaps best known for his plays, he also wrote a number of sonnets, as we talked about when we first got introduced to him. The last 4 lines of Sonnet 76, a part of the Fair Youth sequence, he has a number of epigrams, a lot of epigrams for such short lines. And I'm just going to read you a little bit of that. So all my best is dressing old words new. I'm sorry, let's try that again. So all my best is dressing old words new, spending again what is already spent. For as the sun is daily new and old, so is my love still telling what is told. So there's lots of rhyming in there. And also he twice refers to items and ideas of being both old and new at the same time, and he states that he's spending something that's already been spent, and the purpose of this is to kind of show the confusion. Some people say that this was in regards to his own sexuality. Some scholars say that he was kind of confused, and we talked about that before. All right, so let's move to the next word. The next word is epigraph, and that's epigraph. An inscription on a monument or building or a coin, or at the beginning of a book or chapter. Okay, so every lesson in our vocabulary book starts off with an epigraph, and this epigraph for lesson 6 is, "While I read, I assent," and that's from Cicero. All right, and okay, so number 3 is choreography, and we talked a little bit about how a director uses choreography to have or the actors learn different choreography on where they're supposed to be on the stage, when they're supposed to enter and exit, and we kind of did that a little bit. So that's the art of creating dances or movement, really. All right, so the next word is graffiti. Graffiti are words or drawings scratched or scribbled on a wall. And I'm going to give you an example of that here. You're going to just watch a short video of 2 Brazilian graffiti artists who did some beautiful graffiti down on the causeway in Boston. So check that video out.
It's one of the most big, but
yeah,
we already tried something bigger than that.
yeah, but this one is really different. The shape of the wall, it's amazing.
Yeah.
In the location, we love it. Everybody say, we talking maybe with more than 50 people. Like everybody said the same thing. Like, wow, we miss something like that here. You know, we miss some kind of color things. Yeah, doesn't matter what is there. We need color here. Make our life more happy. every day we go to work and coming back. So thank you for that. When we start to go deep inside of our painting. It's more like a spiritual moment. It's like pray, no? When you start to pray, like really go, because we get inspired by everything. Like all these travelings we do all over the world, we get inspired and we put this in our work. It can be anyone in your head or his head or our head, in our head. It's the way that we try to represent ourselves and people and things that we saw in the streets, in the life, in the dreams. Yeah, I hope he can stay there.
He's so cute. I mean, your characters are so cute.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
Is he?
Yeah.
you can believe that.
They all seem really
He's very
nice.
positive.
Yeah,
I can see
really
that.
positive thing there, over there.
And that's what you want.
Yeah,
To just look up
give
and be
something
like,
good.
Who is this
Yeah.
dude?
Okay, so our next word is going to be graphic, relating to the visual arts like drawing, painting, lecturing, or engraving. Calligraphy, the craft of writing beautifully, is an important graphic art in both Islamic and Japanese culture. If you've ever seen calligraphy, it's very fluid and beautiful. And also, graphic can also have a second meaning, to describe vividly. I like to think of my 4-year-old and how if you ask him about something, he will give you an absolutely vivid description. He'll provide a really graphic account of finding a bug in the grass or what someone was wearing. He's very descriptive. The next word, number 5, is going to be lithograph. And a lithograph is a print produced by a printing process in which a smooth surface is treated so that ink will only adhere to the design to be printed. A lithograph may be made either from a stone or a metal plate. And I'll show you an example of that here. Okay, the next word, number 7, is topography. Topography. The features of an area such as rivers, mountains, and roads. Okay, so our next word is eclectic. Eclectic. This is one of my favorite words. I like to think that I have eclectic taste in home decor. Eclectic means consisting of parts selected from various sources. Sometimes when people pair old and modern things, can kind of have an eclectic look to them. Some people like to describe, there's a store called Anthropology that's it's a chain, but they pair a lot of modern prints with that of Victorian era types of fabrics, and people say that the store is very eclectic. Okay, so number 9, I believe we're on number 9, lexicon. Lexicon is a specialized dictionary or the specialized vocabulary of a particular topic or profession. So we kind of have, you're kind of learning the ELA lexicon. We've had some of our words like metaphor and simile. Those are things that you need to be able to, a special language that you need to be able to understand in order to provide examples from your text. So you're learning the ELA lexicon. Okay. And number 10 is is analogy. Okay, a comparison between things that are alike and are like in some ways, and they have a great example in the book. And in her poem that begins, "Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me." Emily Dickinson makes an analogy between the passing of life and a sedate carriage ride. Okay. Okay, number 11 is apologist. Think of the word apology A person who makes an argument in support of someone or something. Number 12 is epilogue. An epilogue is a noun, and it is a short concluding section in a literary work. An example that they give here is actually from Shakespeare. Rosalind appears in the epilogue of As You Like It to ask for the audience applause. And number 13, you are very familiar with. Number 13 is logo, and if you glance down at your shirt, either on the left or right, I believe it's on the left, you see the AMSA logo displayed. It's a symbol or design that serves to the identity of an organization or institution or even a company. The Nike swoosh is a logo. The golden arches of McDonald's is a logo. The one in your book is from the United Nations. It's a very widely recognized symbol. Okay. All right. So number 14 is logistics. Logistics. The organization of supplies and services. Ms. Johnson had to figure out the logistics of being able to record this video for you today. And number 15 is eulogy, a speech or writing in praise of a person or thing, especially honoring the dead. So if you've ever been to a funeral, someone will usually do the eulogy for the person, commemorating them. And there's a great example in the book here. Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, who are believed drowned, sneak into their own funerals, where they enjoy overhearing their eulogies. And if you have ELA with Miss Johnson in 11th grade, you'll be doing Huckleberry Finn. Very good book. Okay, so as I said before, you're going to be doing exercises A, B, and C. Okay. If you would like now, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to work with a partner to come up with some really great sentences for these words. Okay. And you will have till the end of the period to work together on these. If you could come up with 2 sentences for each word, so you can each write one down, that would be very helpful. These words are widely used as our last chapter, chapter 5, very relevant words that are used often, okay? So they're important to know. For our next vocabulary unit, we're going to be doing lessons 7 and 8 together, so we'll be going back to a big list of words. So we've had a little break, but we're gonna go out with a bang for this before we get to the holidays that are coming up. Okay, so just also to recap your homework, you have A, B, and C of lesson 6, your sentences, and those are due next week, and additionally you have to read Act 1 of Macbeth, and I'm actually going to change the due date for that to Thursday, so you have a little more extra time, and that's also will be updated on Edline. It should be right now. And additionally, your project is due on Friday. If there's any extenuating circumstances, or if you have spoken to me in advance, you have a different due date. But I look forward to seeing all of those on Friday. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. And I think that should be it. And I appreciate your attention, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.